A frequent concern we hear from our students is that passage 3 is very hard and consumes too much time. This happens because matching information answers are scattered. You might find one answer in section E and the next one in section A. To fix this, we use a specific shortcut reading the top and bottom lines of each section first. Let's apply this technique live right now to Cambridge IELTS 16 academic reading test 3 questions 33 to 37. So let's not first read the statements, question statements, but we will read the first line. Like what I am telling you right now, you should keep that in mind so that it will save you a lot of time. First, we will read this first statement. If we were not able to find the answer, then we are going to read the last statement. Okay. So first, let's read this statement. An international team of scientists led by the University of Cambridge has discovered that the thermometer molecule in plants enables them to develop according to seasonal temperature changes. Now we will be figuring out the answer here. Mention of specialists. There is no mention of specialists. A reference to the potential. There is no mention of benefit. Scientific support. Traditional saying. There is no traditional saying. A reference to people traditionally making plans. There is no such reference. A reference to where the research has been reported. Although I think I am not sure 100%, but here it says University of Cambridge. So this can also point out towards the place. Like here it says the reference to where the research has been reported. So here the place is University of Cambridge, but still I'm unsure about this. So let's read the last line of this section. So here it's written, the new findings published in the journal Science show that phytochromes control genetic switches in response to temperature as well as light to dictate plant development. Now this one directly relates to the a reference to where the research has been reported. So here a research has been reported, like a research has been published in the journal Science. So the name of the scientific journal or magazine is here. So here uh, like for fifth one, A is going to be the right answer. Now you can see that clearly that the answers are not in order sequence. Like for fifth one, we were able to find the answer in A. So now let's read the B1. And do remember that in case of matching information, it is not like that if you read a section, so it is not necessary that you will be finding the answers for that, because here the sections are total, the sections are, I think so, 8, while the statements are 5. So that means there might be 3 sections you will be reading through them, and you won't be able to find anything related to them. So at night, these molecules change states, and the pace at which they change is directly proportional to temperature, say scientists who who compare phytochromes to mercury in a thermometer. So at night times, these molecules change state. So is there any mention of such thing, a reference to potential benefits, scientific support, reference to traditional mating plants? No, there is no such mention of such a thing. The warmer it is, the faster the molecular change, stimulating plant growth. So is there any mention of temperature here? I don't think so. No. Implants based on this, like plant behavior is there, but traditionally making plants, there is no such thing. So B is extra. There is no information, like there is no statement that can be related to it. So now let's move on towards the C one, and let's see with which statement does it relates to. So we will read, like it's a short one. So we are going to read this statement. Farmers and gardeners have known for hundreds of years how responsive plants are to temperature. Warm winters cause many trees and flowers to bud early, something humans have long used to predict weather and harvest time for the coming year. So there is a mention of like prediction of weather. Okay. And harvest times for the coming years. Prediction of weather and harvest time. Mention of specialists, a reference to potential benefit, no, a scientific support for a traditional saying, a reference to people traditionally making plans based on plant behavior. Now, plants behavior is like if someone is saying that, okay, there is traditionally like people making plans based on the prediction of weather and harvest. So there is mention of plant behavior. So here it is written, that farmers and gardeners have known for hundreds of years how responsive plants are to temperature. So this is like responsiveness of plants to temperature is basically plant behavior. So they have known this. So C is going to be the correct option. Now we have figured out this one. Now let's look at the D1. So we are going to read the first statement here from here. With weather and temperature set to become ever more unpredictable. Now there is another thing I would like to tell you. If you read the whole paragraph all at once, so you will get confused. So the best strategy is to divide this in chunks. With weather and temperature set to become ever more unpredictable due to climate change, researchers say the discovery that this light sensing molecule also function as the internal thermometer in plant cells could help us breed tougher crops. Okay, this could help them breed tougher crops. Okay, so now let's look at mention of specialists. There is no mention of specialists. A reference to potential benefit. Yes, I think so. This can also be like related. It is quite related to the second statement, but still we can make sure of this. Like either we are choosing the right information or not. We can still look at the last statement as well if we are unsure. But here I think so. Like when it says that researchers say the discovery that the light sensing molecules also function as the internal thermometer in plant cells could help us breed tougher crops. So this can be a potential benefit of the research finding. So I think so. I will be proceeding with it, and I won't be even looking at the last statement. Okay. So now let's look at like you see how easy it was with just reading 3 lines. We were able to figure out the answer. So it saves us a lot of time. Now let's look at the E1. Let's read its first statement. Okay. We won't like waste a lot of time here. Okay. The first statement says that in their active state, phytochrome molecules bind themselves to DNA to restrict plant growth. During the day, sunlight activates the molecules, slowing down growth. Okay. So it is talking about the behavior like during the day, sunlight activates the molecules, slowing down growth. Okay, so there anything related to it? No, don't think so. There are two just left. A mention of specialist, scientific support for traditional saying. So there is no such mention of such mention. So we will be reading its last line. This is called dark reversion. Just as bulb rises in a temperature, the rate at which phytochrome revert to their inactive state during the night is a direct measure of temperature. So, inactive state during the night. So, scientific support for a traditional saying, mention of specialists who can make use of the no, there is no mention of specialists. So, I don't think so. There is anything related to this in the question statement. So, now let's move on toward the F1. The lower the temperature, the slower the rate at which phytochrome reverts to inactivity. So, the molecules spend much time molecules spend more time in their active growth suppressing state. Okay. Mention of specialists. No, there is no such mention like that. So we are going to move towards the last line. Diggy believes phytochrome's thermosensing evolved at a later stage and co-opted the biological network already used for light-based growth during the downtime of night. Is there any mention of that? Like thermosensing evolved at a later stage? No. I don't think so. E and F were totally irrelevant. So don't ever waste your time reading each and everything. Now let's look at the G1. Some plants mainly use day length as an indicator of the season. Other species such as daffodils have considerable temperature sensitivity and can flower months in advance during a warm winter. Okay. No, there is nothing like that here. Now we will be reading the last sentence. A warmer spring and consequently a higher likeness of a hot summer will result in oak leafing before ash. A cold spring will see the opposite, as the British know only too well. A colder summer is likely to be a rain-soaked one. Okay. As the British know only too well. This can, I think so, relate to third one, but not like you can say traditional saying. So let's look at the next line from here. In fact, the discovery of the dual role of the phytobromes provides the science behind a well-known rhyme long used to predate the coming season. Well-known rhyme means traditional saying. Oak before ash, we will have a splash. Or ash before oak, we are in for a soak. So this relates to the G1. This is going to be its answer. Now let's look at the next one, H1. It is directly like a technical kind of a thing that if you were not able to find answer in any other section, so definitely means this is the right answer for the H1. But still, we are going to find out where there is mentioned a mention of specialists. The new findings are the culmination of 12 years of research involving scientists from Germany, Argentina, and US as well as the Cambridge team. So here it is directly mention of the specialists. Scientists are specialists, and then Cambridge is uniquely well positioned to do this kind of research as well as we have outstanding collaborators nearby who work on more applied aspects of plant biology. So outstanding collaborators, so this means that this is its right answer. So the thing is, it took us, I think, almost 11 minutes or 45 seconds or something. You can also save a lot of time because for some students, they waste a lot of their time just by reading irrelevant things and reading whole sections and then trying to figure out answers. Like here, you could see that we just read the first statement and the last statement and we were able to find the answer. So always save your time. Otherwise, for part 3, passage 3 questions, you will have a difficulty in solving them in timely manner. Till the next video, Allah Hafiz.